The word I know. I know this, I know that. Yeah, I know. That's the worst word you could possibly tell yourself. The word I know basically means you already know everything. You already know everything. And a lot of the times when you use the word I know, it's because someone's trying to correct you. Hey, don't say this when you're saying this script, or don't do that when you're doing this. Oh yeah, I know, sorry. I'll fix it, I know. So what you're telling yourself is that you think you know it all already. So you think you already know everything. You see, that's the problem. That's the problem between regular people and people who are trying to get to the whole next level. World-class leaders, world-class performers. People who are world-class performers are aware that they're unaware. You see, when you start to go up in higher levels, you start to realize that you don't know everything. That you don't know everything. That you need to keep learning. That happiness is not necessarily in staying stable, and happiness is not necessarily going to come from being comfortable. That world-class performers, happiness comes from continuously learning, being consistent. So you need to realize when you start to say the word I know and you think you know everything, that's when you slowly start to die, because you're either growing or you're dying. It's one or the other. So it's very important that every single day you're picking up those books. Picking up those books. You're listening to the audio books. You're making sure that you're listening to the words you're saying. You're not Albert Einstein, and not even Albert Einstein knew everything. The moment that you become aware that you don't know everything, that's when you can continue to grow. You need to be like a kid. A kid is always asking questions. Why this? Why that? Why is that? Instead of when someone tells you to do something, instead of saying I know, you say why. Why do I do it like that? Why do I have to do it like that? People love to teach people. And that's a way better way of life than saying, yeah, I know, just because you're irritated. I mean, maybe you just need to work a little bit more on your emotions. But the word I know is poison. The word I know is poison. Stop saying I know when you're having a communication with people. Say why. Why is that? And now you start to take a little bit more control, okay? Because your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between if you're lying or if you're telling the truth. So you saying I know blocks you out. It blocks your brain out. It blocks your brain. Is like, oh, okay, he already knows this stuff. He doesn't need to learn. I don't need to give him more information. So your brain stops using you to learn this stuff. It starts to like wander somewhere else. So you need to make sure you know that you don't know that you're unaware, but always try to stay aware. There's this quote. It goes from, I believe it's Carlos Marin. It goes, everyone is operating and running their lives at the current level of conscious awareness. That basically means that you're running your mind and your every single day from what you already know. So if once you know that there's higher and higher and higher levels, you realize that what you're thinking about right now is only what you know right now, even though you know there is higher level performers. So it's very important to try to use their thinking. You know, try to use higher level performers' thinkings. You know, if you're a basketball player, look into Kobe, how's his mentality, and not even just listen once, but try to see what he does, the small little details, because you don't know. Because or else you'd be there. You know, like for me, I'm an investor, so I need to consistently look at investors, you know, at higher levels, and continuously grow from them, learn from them, be around people that I want to be around. Ask yourself this question at the end of the day, or grab your journal. Am I growing? Am I growing? Or am I dying? Am I growing or am I dying? And write that down and take a quick look at yourself. Am I growing or am I dying? Am I staying the same? Am I comfortable? Oh yeah, I'm happy, comfortable. No, you're not. You want to grow. And you know, if your answer is dying, make sure you make a decision today to become more aware of how to grow. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna grow today. Okay, and you need to make that decision. Like, you gotta make that decision like if you were going out to war. Not just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do a hobby, you know, see how to know. You need to make a decision like you're about to go to war. Like, there's no going back. You don't even know if you're gonna make it out alive. And that's how you're supposed to make decisions. The moment you say, I'm gonna grow, is I'm gonna fucking grow. For top performers, high level leaders, school is never out. You know, a lot of people think, oh yeah, I got out of high school, got out of college, I don't have to go back to the books, to learning, the journal. No. For high performers, school is never out. You're never gonna be done learning. The moment you stop learning is when you start to die. Like I just mentioned, look, I just had a meeting recently with this one investor, right? He came in, he controls millions of dollars, and he had quit doing real estate. He had a nice passive income. He said he bought this like landscaping company. He came back, he said, wow, you know, I stopped doing real estate around 4 years ago, but I mean, I kept some passive incomes, but I probably shouldn't have quit. You know, I thought I was being comfortable with my passive income, but now I realize the market's picking back up, and I probably should have stayed in here, but now it looks like a good time to come back in. And he said, but one thing I would tell you is just never quit. You know, because once you start quitting, that's when you start to lose yourself, start to forget things. And that's what a multimillionaire told me. He said, just don't quit, never quit. I mean, and I'm gonna fucking do that. Fuck.
I just love the smell of fear.